So in the bid last week, the highest was $280.
$2.80?
280.
Oh, 280?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Wow.
hilarious.
$280. So, I mean, good for Jack Dorsey for being smart enough to capitalize, but sad for the sucker that bought it.
Yep.
For 2.9. I mean, if you have 2.9 to throw it into an NFT,
You got money.
you got money.
That's almost as cool as when that Banksy sold and shredded itself.
Oh,
Do you
right.
remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That was
Yep.
freaking rad. It's like sold and it's like and just like shreds itself to pieces.
You know what else is cool? My podcast tonight.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear
Oh, I'm
it.
so excited. I'm nervous. I'm always nervous when you host. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I know
either.
exactly why.
Because you never know what you gonna get.
Chris is always.
It's a
nervous
wild
when I
card.
post, but
Yeah.
no, tonight is something that we have always talked about doing,
Okay.
but have not done it, and so I took it upon myself to do it.
Love it.
Is this allowed on YouTube?
Maybe. But first off, I would like to introduce the 5 best friends that anybody could have.
We're the 5 best
So I will be your host tonight, Zach. Got Tony,
Hello.
Austin, Chris,
Hi.
and Cam.
Hey.
I almost called you Austin because I was looking at Austin, but then I was saying your name. I caught myself so quickly.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. It's a
I've been
compliment,
called
right?
worse.
I don't know. That's pretty low.
So
Man.
tonight, I thought it would be fun to talk about things that we just barely learned. So
Oh,
today I learned.
TILs?
Yeah,
TILs,
we're gonna do
baby?
some TILs.
Okay.
So, and I'm gonna start it off with the doozy.
All right.
Did you know? Today I learned in Hawaii, it's against the law to laugh really hard out loud in public. You have to keep it to aloha.
Oh, jeez.
My gosh.
Oh, geez.
I heard that yesterday. I had to
Dumb.
start it off with that.
Awesome.
Oh god.
Well delivered.
Yeah, well delivered.
Yeah,
I was expecting a Dwayne The Rock Johnson something in there.
No, I was listening to Smartless podcast, and Sean Hayes had said it at the very end. I laughed like so hard out loud, like it was the funniest thing I've ever
So
heard.
you'd get arrested in Hawaii.
Yeah, I would have been.
Didn't.
Okay, so we'll start it off, and honestly, if you guys have any you want to share, go for it. Let's talk about them. Let's have discussions. Like,
Okay.
let's just have fun with it.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
So, first one. Today I learned that sharks are older than trees.
Oh, I've known that.
Sharks
No,
have
wait,
been.
what?
Yeah. Sharks predate trees.
Uh-huh.
How trees?
It says sharks have been around for at least 400 million years and have survived all 5 global mass extinctions. Fossil evidence shows that the earliest sharks evolved around 450 million years ago. By comparison, trees appeared just 360 million years ago.
How do we know that?
Carbon dating,
Yep.
baby.
Yeah. Fossil
But-
evidence.
But what if the trees are just gone
What do you
from
mean?
before that?
Uh,
Like the earth was like roasted, wasn't it?
Sharks burn up.
Not when they're in the ocean.
I know. Thank you.
Like I mean,
survive that
that
stuff.
meteor came
Thank you
down,
for that.
and blew up all the dinosaurs, probably roasted all the trees.
Still
No
be
evidence
evidence.
left.
There'll still be fossil
I don't
evidence.
know. That's
Wasn't-
weird.
There's petrified wood.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole Earth just water to begin with?
In the
Wasn't that a-
beginning.
In the
Yeah.
beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah, wasn't it just water and then they created the land afterwards?
No,
And then
it
there
was
were
created at the
guys
same
on
time
boats
they
and
were.
jet
It was like
skis.
separated and stuff.
And dirt was bad joke.
Weird.
Water
I guess
world.
maybe they did start with the water. I don't know. That's a question for God.
Did you know?
Because they're also finding that some of their carbon dating stuff is not right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
don't
great.
know.
That's
I don't know
wonderful.
how you accurately carbon date something. Like
That's
I want to know
exactly
the science of it.
right.
Well, that's
It's radiation. How the radiation reacts to
Oh, okay.
the carbon.
That's true. You're right.
Well-
Freaking look at you.
Some
And
days.
There's also a lot of people who believe that like dinosaurs never existed on Earth.
I've heard that.
That they
before.
actually came because God created Earth. He pulled from other planets, and
just borrowed.
just believes that the fossils came from other planets. So that could explain why sharks predated earlier.
Sharks had legs. No, just kidding.
Like that movie.
No, today I really learned that aliens have truly visited the world. Today in the news,
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
They had that like town.
they had a whistleblower under oath mentioned that we have in our
Possession.
UFOs and biological
Non-human
non-human
biologics
biologics.
from said non-human craft.
Crazy. That's what today I learned.
And I saw like a little clip, and the lady was asking him specifics, and he's like, "We'd have to get into a skiff for that." She's like, "All right."
And what's a skiff?
It's a super secure room where there's no incoming or outgoing signals. It's soundproof, all this stuff. So it's basically where they can share top secret information,
So like this room.
or they have like hardwired. Like I talked to this
That
lady.
guy's getting Epstein.
I talked to this lady whose husband was like way high up in the CIA, and they had a skiff in their home.
Nice. I'm gonna
Wow.
make this room a
All
skiff.
right, let's do it.
Speaking
Then
of
we'll
water,
tell secrets.
Speaking of all the cameras in the room,
I've got one. Did
okay.
you know there's more water underneath the crust of the earth than there is in the ocean?
What?
Yeah.
How do they know?
It's condensed in the rocks.
But see, it's all theory.
More?
It's all theory that there's even a mantle and a core.
3 times as much as what the estimation is.
That's
So we're floating.
no wonder they shift so much.
Yeah.
But see, again, like they've never drilled past the crust, so they don't actually know if the mantle.
False. Okay. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Have you ever seen the
Jamie.
movie Armageddon, bud?
Don't you even start.
Have you seen the movie Armageddon,
No.
bud?
It's the other movie, the one with the train.
Bruce Willis, bro.
Core.
Yeah.
It's core.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis flew off the planet.
But they had to practice here in the States.
Same thing in water. Did you know that clouds on average have about 6 tons worth of water in them?
6 tons.
How do they stay in the air?
I was gonna say.
Well, you see, all they need to do is disperse more weight
Oh.
they weigh.
Back to the water dispersal. How's that boat gonna float?
I saw.
Hey,
Preface
go
that.
ahead.
Kind of just on the Earth stuff. Did you see that they found a pyramid in?
Oh my God!
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Zach's comment.
Leave it there.
Austin had shared that in the.
Wait, I
Cam
don't
did.
remember this.
Oh.
Cam did.
I did.
Or you shared it.
I shared it.
Someone
I don't
shared
remember
it. But yeah, I wrote back and I said, yeah, that's how we find aliens and predators. Just leave it alone.
I love the one where it was like the one that you shared. It was a container that washed up ashore. And then Rita, whatever. What's her name? Rita Repulsa?
Yeah, Rita Repulsa. From
Repulsa.
Power Rangers.
okay.
You know what we should do? We should have a deep dive one of these times on the podcast of just our meme sharing.
For real, just
Where
go
we,
back
like,
through
share
it.
with them
Just
our
share.
catalog.
Dude, that sounds fun. 'cause
I'm
this is
personally so behind on it.
Oh, I am too. But this is for sure my favorite message.
Yeah, you
thread.
guys all stop sharing, so it's like everything that I've shared. I'm like, okay, I need to stop.
I share stuff. You know,
Yeah,
so
we
I
share.
share like a bunch in a row. I'm usually on the commode when I'm doing
That's
that.
yeah. It's
Oh heck yeah!
every day.
Yours is always in Messenger.
Yeah.
Remember
Yours
the
is
guy-
always a messenger.
I guess it's not today I learned. The other day I learned, but today I remembered. Remember the freaking gold and white or the black and
Oh,
blue
yeah.
dress?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
husband apparently
Get
murdered
charged for
her.
attempted murder.
Attempted. He tried
Yeah.
hiring a
He
hitman.
He tried to
Yeah.
murder his wife who posted that.
Yeah, who posed in
Because they
the
were
dress or whatever.
probably arguing
They
over the color
they've
of the
still
dress.
been arguing
Yeah.
about it. Today I learned that a man has spent 65 years living in an iron lung machine.
I saw
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
I've known that.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
why.
Crazy.
Didn't have something to do with it's a disease that he has.
Yeah. We talked about this on the deep dive, the
Oh,
Titan.
Yeah.
Man, if I was in that
Did we
thing,
talk
I'd
about
poke
that?
a hole.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I
Kill
don't
me
know.
now.
Yeah.
It's like 65 years? of
No.
Just that?
Poke a hole in it.
Wouldn't that do something to your brain?
Yeah, you'd go
bed-
crazy.
Bed
Speaking
source.
of people with brains,
Oh.
today I learned in an interview with Stephen Hawking The camera operator yanked a cable, causing an alarm and Hawking to slump forward. Worried they had killed him, everyone rushed over to find Hawking giggling at his own joke. The alarm was from an office computer losing power.
So wait. They ran over there and he was just like, ha, 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 ha.
Yep.
No, just a bunch of
That's
LOLs.
awesome.
Or giggles. He's like, he.
Just a bunch of LOLs.
L-O.
Which is also the same sounds he makes with his wife.
Family Guy. Huh. Oh, yes. Oh, fun
Right
fact.
there.
Speaking of him, I think I might have said this before, but on the alien topic as well.
Yes.
He said, when he was alive, he said that we shouldn't be looking for aliens because if there are any out there, the only reason they would want to come here is for our resources.
Creepy.
Or
Yeah,
they're
isn't that
just
creepy?
watching the monkeys in the zoo.
Yeah.
If they're so advanced.
Yeah.
I
So
saw a thing today that there's another Earth-type planet that we could live on, and it's only 31 light years away.
I did see that.
Damn.
I love how we're all sharing news that we've learned from Instagram.
Instagram.
Which makes you wonder if it's actually valid. Because I would literally quote any of that as truth. Yeah, that's true. I saw it on Instagram.
I saw it on TikTok.
Right.
I'm going to butcher this because I've learned it secondhand. Someone else told me this of something that they heard from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Do you guys know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Si, senor.
So someone asked him on a podcast, and again, this is secondhand knowledge. So if this is incorrect, you can correct him. And I'm not going to name him. Anyway, but basically he was saying, someone asked Neil deGrasse Tyson, exactly how much of the universe have we been able to
View.
Discover.
See?
what of the
Perceived, I
observable universe have we actually explored or have documented or have actually been able to study? And he basically said, take a cup, and there had to have been something about, and do you believe there's life out there? And so he said, okay, well, this is like basically a 2-part answer. He's like, but take a glass of water, dip it in the water, pull it out. He's like, now, this cup of water represents all of the observable universe that we have seen, and all the water on the rest of the earth is stuff that we have not seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's ever expanding.
And
Yeah.
it's ever expanding.
Well,
and then he went on to say, and he's like, now, this cup of water, does it have anything living in it that you can see? And they're like, no. And he's like, okay, that's what we see. So there's this whole ocean of creatures that live, but yet
That
we're
could
not
be out
seeing
there,
any
yeah.
because that's all that's in the cup.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ooh,
right?
And there's those gigantic monsters that live
I
deep
like
in
the
the
look
ocean.
you're giving me.
right?
Well,
That's-
and then we just learned that there's 3 times as much water in the
In the
plates.
crust.
The crust.
Yeah, in the
In the
crust.
crust.
I also read something that we've actually explored more space than we have our own ocean.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the
But
ocean's
the ocean
so scary.
is so terrifying.
You know what's weird about the ocean is you see some of the creatures that live in it,
They gross.
and you like
They're aliens.
they're so haunting that they're freaking aliens in the water.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Remember that video, the weird thing with like the tendrils? Like it was like the bulb thingy, and
Oh,
it had
and it,
just
like-
like the super long stuff. It was just like floating.
Yeah, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's terrifying.
That thing was
It
gross.
looked like a plant.
And it
So-
wasn't a squid or an octopus. It was, and its tendrils were like.
So with
hundreds
the
of feet.
comment that it's
Cookie
we've
cutter
discovered
sharks.
we've discovered more in space than we have in our own oceans, but now taking Neil's analogy, like that to me is what's I don't know. My brain's kind of
It's broken. It's smoking.
because it's like what's in this cup is what we've discovered in space. And everything else on the Earth is what we haven't discovered, but we've discovered more in space than what we've discovered on Earth. And yeah.
Does
Could
not
tell.
compute.
I was gonna say I could just see the moment where Tony's brain just shut down.
Think about it like this. You're instead of the cup, it's this house.
Yeah.
This house is the only seeable universe that we can see. We can see that there's people here. We're the only life in this house. But you have next door a house full of people over
Yeah.
there, over there, over there. Like, there could very well be more, but we can't see anything outside of this house.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
There was that other physicist too that talked about how, as far as they can see, it's actually making them question how old the Earth actually is.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're now getting light that's even older than it should be.
Got you, yeah.
And it's making them question the whole Big Bang Theory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because they're like, timelines aren't adding up anymore.
Yeah.
There's also the timeline that they believe that what was it, like the Dark Ages or some type of ages like that were like completely made up.
Shut up.
That they added thousands of years.
Yeah,
to
that they
them.
add, and so we should actually only be in like 1770 something right now.
That they've added centuries of made up history.
What the freak?
What?
I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah,
Yeah.
apparently we should. Oh, yeah, we should only be in like 1700s right now.
There's that quote: "The history is written by those who win." So somebody
Jeez.
won and decided this is what we want people to know.
Right. So
Interesting.
Well, I mean, there's that show on Netflix, Ancient Apocalypse, too.
Oh yeah,
It's really good. It talks about
show
civilization.
looks pretty good.
Yeah, they only say that civilization started what was it?
like 16,000.
Something like that. But there's stuff that predates that. They
Yeah.
think the pyramids. There's evidence that he brings up that I will not get into because I'm going to butcher it, but that states that the pyramids were already here, and that the Egyptians
During the Egyptian dynasty, yeah.
that the Egyptians were just remodeling them,
Jeez.
putting curtains on them.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
when
that honestly makes way more sense.
Right?
Well, look at the Sphinx. So the Sphinx is a big body with a teeny little head. They think it was here before and actually had a lion's head on it that they carved and made it a pharaoh's head on the Sphinx.
Oh,
Is what?
because they only had so much they could use, so the head ends up being smaller than the body.
That makes so much more sense.
Well, it's like when you did your top 10 mysteries and that hammer that they found.
Yeah,
That
the
carbon-
London hammer.
yeah.
That carbon dated way before anything.
Noah's hammer.
I do. That is one of the questions in the back of my mind. Is I do wonder if we were an advanced civilization,
Right.
catastrophic accident destroyed everything. You could even think like maybe before Noah's flood, they were actually super advanced,
Well,
and that wiped everything out
there's-
completely back to the Stone Age.
well, people were pissed because the young Dryas impact theory was brought up, and historians were like, no, that never happened. And now there's proof that it did happen,
Well, it's like the city of Atlantis,
which they
say-
think might have fell during the young Dryas impact.
Yeah.
When the ice age was going away, there was a catastrophic meteor shower that hit that melted the ice almost overnight and caused massive flooding. It was over several weeks, but
They also believe that. I read another thing too. That they now believe that the city of Atlantis was also possibly completely made up, just like a ruse
how
type
dare
thing.
you?
I'm not saying it's
Like
true.
Right.
what was it? What philosopher was it that wrote about it?
No, it wasn't Aristotle. It was Socrates. No, now I'm drawing a blank. But he actually timed. He put a timestamp on when Atlantis was there, and they have evidence now that dates. Like there's so many coincidences with all these ruins and stuff that they're finding that would actually date around that time is when the young Dryas impact theory happened, to where the asteroids came down and flooded everything out. A lot of the coastal land, I mean, they lost millions and millions of square miles of land
What if they're not aliens?
that were prime areas.
They were advanced civilization. The flood happened. They evolved to live underwater, and now there's this whole bunch of Gungans down there. Just they can't come out because the sun will cook them. I'm just saying.
No,
Speaking of water too, did you know that if we took all the surface water on the Earth and made it into a sphere, its diameter would only be 860 miles, which is technically Salt Lake City to Topeka, Kansas. You take all of it, put in a sphere.
what about the stuff under the crust?
What?
It's just all
what
the
we
surface
just
water.
learned. This is confusing information.
Yep.
But it would be flat, right?
No, I mean I don't know how high the sphere would go. Well, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how high the sphere would go, but if you put it all into
It's
a sphere,
so it's the same all the way around.
Is it?
Yeah,
Except for
it's
the
a
Earth,
It's
it's
a
a little
sphere.
I was thinking, can't spheres be like oblong?
That's
no,
not a sphere.
No, that's an oval.
Oh, okay.
So
What's the
You learn
so
stuff every day.
How big is
Yeah,
Earth for
today you learned.
context? Like
That
how many miles?
It actually had a picture to show in context.
That's
Um,
like it doesn't seem like a lot.
it's when you look at the context of the Earth and the
Yeah.
water, how they have it showed in a sphere. There's like not a lot. Like it's weird.
Wow.
but it is at
Interesting.
the same time.
Yeah,
But yet-
it is, but it's
But yet
not.
they say
like,
the
it
Earth
is,
is made up of majority water.
I know, right?
And so
This stuff
It's in the
fascinates
rocks.
now it makes you wonder if they were to take the land and make it into a sphere, how much would that cover?
me. The Earth.
It's a good
It
question.
would be the Earth minus the water.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Yeah.
math. All right.
E equals.
So this one is what how did you say that earlier? Today I learned, or no? Yesterday I learned. Today I remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this story is a today I remembered because I just love this story. So this one says, today I learned after being scolded by a woman who felt that his shoes were too expensive for kids, Shaquille O'Neal forewent a $40 million deal with Reebok and signed one with Walmart. He then brought in designers from Reebok so that his Walmart shoes would look costlier than the $20 price, and over 400 million pairs were sold. I think we've talked about this on
Yeah,
the
I think
podcast.
so.
Yeah,
Talked
yeah,
about
Because
that
one of you
before.
guys said you actually had Shaq shoes,
Uh-huh, that
right?
was me.
Shaq
Was it you?
shoes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
That's fun to say.
That is Shaq shoes.
I got Shaq shoes.
That dude,
Shaq shoes.
Shaq
he is-
shoes?
he's so awesome. I
Yeah,
love
Shaq's a good
Shaq.
guy.
Didn't he also do a stint in wrestling?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a giant.
I saw one. Today I learned playing just one day in the MLB, Major League Baseball, gives players lifetime health care coverage while just 43 days secures them an annual $34,000 pension.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
So you can have lifetime health care for just playing one day, and then if you make it 43 days, then you get a $34,000 annual pension.
That's worth it just for the healthcare.
Right?
Heck yeah.
Winning
Yep. Just do it just play 1 year. Play
Should
1
have
month.
practiced
one
more.
day.
One day.
I would just play 2 months and call it quits. Because then you get
I
the
played
35,000
44
every
days.
year on top of.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to play baseball? That'd be dope. I'd like it. Whatever.
Yeah.
44 days.
Did you know toilet paper wasn't always, at one point wasn't splinter free?
Splinter.
Yep.
Wait, what'd you say?
Toilet paper wasn't splinter free until the 1930s.
Get out.
Oh my gosh.
People would
That's not-
alternatively use Sears catalogs.
Wait,
I just
we didn't have splint-free toilet paper, but we had
splinter-free.
catalogs?
So toilet paper wasn't splinter free until the 1930s.
it wasn't refined.
So there's a chance you could wipe and get a splinter.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So alternatively,
Honestly, the fear isn't for me, it's for women.
right?
Oh.
Yeah, I like, for me, I'm not, it's okay. But thinking of girls,
Yeah.
oh.
So alternatively, they would
still,
use
What, do you
Sears
got a
catalogs.
Hard. Do you got a
Which
butthole?
caused an uproar in the mid 1930s. People actually wrote to Sears complaining as they started using glossy paper,
Paper cuts.
and it wasn't as good for toilet paper anymore.
That's John Wayne toilet paper.
Also,
Rough and tough and takes no crap from no one.
people would use the
Not even your
old
bumhole.
Farmer's Almanac as a substitute, being nailed onto the wall. In response, the Farmer's Almanac was made with a hole drilled in a corner. And so I read a comment on there, and someone was like, that's actually legit smart.
Heck yeah.
The day after, that day's gone. It's like a calendar. So you just rip that day off, wipe your butt, and see you later.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought you were going to go down the route of.
Well, that
paper
day was
cuts.
shit.
Literally.
Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody
Yep.
had to say it.
That's good.
You've also heard of ping pong shows?
Shows?
Yeah, ping pong shows.
It's just one of those weird things in Mexico where it's not actually about the ping pong.
Oh, it's about ping pong, but it's not in Mexico.
He's on to something.
So, ping pong shows, most common in Bangkok, Thailand, where women use their pelvic muscles to hold, eject, or blow objects from their vaginal cavity.
Prove it.
Can you imagine the sound?
Jamie, pull it up.
Do the bounces?
I'm not typing that in.
Come on.
Do the bounces count?
Oh, that's
How many bounces
terrifying.
For science.
Ping pong
Oh!
show.
We're not gonna PIP it. Oh my god!
That was the image that pulled up when I. Yep.
Wait, you did research?
No, I. So
It's
So
in,
when
it's
I was-
in pat,
when I
it's
was-
in pat pong.
yeah. So when I was looking it up, I was like, "What the?" Because the way the person worded it, I was like, "This makes no sense. What the hell is a ping pong show?" And it had a link to Wikipedia, so that's what I clicked on, and that's the picture that pops up with Wikipedia.
Takes place in strip clubs.
Yep.
You know, Thailand is just a whole sexual joke.
You're over there, and all of a sudden you just.
I know.
Ping pong ball.
She had good. That was good form.
Oh.
She had good form.
Why is it wet?
It's like those, those like dart boards, but it's like Velcro. And you have that. It's like that. And it's like,
Remember they actually had the Velcro
Yes.
balls? Yeah.
We actually have one of those in the playroom.
She's winding up. She's winding up.
Oh, God.
pressurizes it.
This one's for distance.
Freaking funny. Hey, real quick, back on your Sphinx thing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say sphincter.
Pick on your sphincter.
They have found pigment residue that suggests the face was red and the body was yellow and blue.
Okay, yeah. I knew there was things, but I didn't want to say what the evidence was because I couldn't remember fully.
Interesting.
Were they colorblind?
Bro, today I learned a typical camel can drink 53 gallons of water in 3 minutes.
Wow.
3 minutes.
Wow.
Bro, that's
200.
faster than you can fill your car.
It all goes right to the hump.
It goes straight.
I thought that wasn't true.
They carry water in their humps.
It's fat.
Is it
but it has
fat?
I
moisture,
remember. Yeah, I
I thought
remember.
they carried water in their humps.
It was another
Maybe
one of
in the
those things
fat,
where
It's
it's like,
majority water, or like, it's not like literally a bag of water.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's how they can. It has to do something with their humps. That's how they can last so long in the desert.
I don't think it's like a bladder.
contrary to popular belief, camels do not store water in their humps.
Oh,
It's fat.
Instead, they store fatty tissue, which is used as a source of nourishment when food is scarce. Camels can drink large amounts of water, up to 20 gallons at a time.
They're
53
efficient too.
apparently, and can survive a week without drinking water and several months without eating.
oh, so it's more to do with food then.
They excrete dry feces to retain water, and their kidneys efficiently remove toxins from the water in the body so they can retain as much as possible.
Interesting.
Okay, here's one I got to read because I need you to Google it to see if it's true. Today I learned the U.S. state of Rhode Island changed its name in 2020 and was the first state to ever do so. Is it really not called Rhode Island anymore?
It's still called Rhode Island.
Get out of here.
Moves to change official name. Oh my gosh.
Over slavery ties? Are you kidding me?
What
They
are
used to
the
walk
what are
the
the
slaves
ties?
on the roads, so roads are racist.
Is that what it says?
No, that's what
Oh.
that's what I was guessing.
They spelled road wrong.
Announcing the state would forward the changing of its official name to just ties
There-
official name. The state of Rhode Island
And Providence,
Providence-
Plantations.
and Providence Plantations appears on state documents,
Oh.
but the order would shorten it to just Rhode Island. So basically, she's just trying to get clout, not actually doing anything to help anyone.
Oh, dumb.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
She's like, "See, I care. Vote for me again."
Listen, it's an ugly truth, but any civilization and anything can tie. If you go back far enough, you can tie it to slavery.
It's
Yeah.
true.
You don't even have to go back that far; it still happens.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying any.
yeah.
You know what I mean.
No, I get
This
you.
one's
I
for
get you.
Tony.
Stop it
Okay.
Today I learned tomatoes are native to the Americas. So there was no such thing as tomato sauce in Italy until at least the 16th century.
Oh, wow.
So what
That's
did they make?
crazy.
Their-
I don't know.
What did they eat?
They probably ate like
Pesto?
Alfredo,
Alfredo, yeah.
Pesto.
which is way better. Oh
Dude,
man, I
it's
could do
so
with some
good.
Alfredo right now.
Dude, I want some freaking carbonara. Like legit carbonara, though. Not American carbonara, like actual
Yeah.
Italian
I like
carbonara.
chicken marsala. Pasta.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
We gotta hurry and get off the topic of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not open.
Well, we'll do one more food one.
Oh, bugger.
Today I learned, this one might turn you off though.
Okay.
Today I learned that eating fruit is eating the dry, ripened ovaries of a plant.
Gross.
Delicious.
Oh, that reminds me of one that I learned, not today, but I learned that when you eat a lot of pineapple, the reason why your tongue hurts is because you're literally being stabbed by little microscopic calcium needles.
You're being digested
Digested.
by enzymes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Wait,
yeah.
when you do what?
When you eat
Pineapple.
pineapple.
Yeah.
Like if you eat a lot of pineapple,
Hold on,
your
eat
tongue
you
starts
back.
to hurt.
Let's go back to this ovary thing for a second, though.
We just glossed right over that like it was nothing.
Okay, we got to, it wouldn't be the ovaries because they are fertilized with the seeds inside of them. That's the food. That would be the placenta.
Oh, that's even
Yeah.
worse
Yeah.
somehow.
Well,
Now,
I don't
here's
know.
some,
Ovaries, placenta, it all comes from the same
I mean,
place.
some people eat the actual placenta.
this
No,
one's
it
gonna
doesn't. It all
ruin.
comes around the vagina area.
Freaking uterus, bud.
No.
This one, hey, this one is this one's for Zach. Did you know you need eggs? You're eating chicken periods.
It's true.
Ew.
I love eggs, so I don't.
No wonder
even-
my body
Have you ever
reacts
gotten
horribly to
Have you ever
eggs.
have you
You
ever
got
gotten
your
a
yellow
bloody
wings?
egg?
What?
Have you ever gotten a bloody egg?
No.
Yeah, it's gross.
That's nasty.
No,
you
thanks.
don't. You just wipe it away and eat the rest
Ew.
of it.
I mean, I did still eat it, but
Ew,
a
no.
little droplet. It was just a little droplet.
That's so when it has blood in it, that means it got fertilized.
Oh, you've been having. That's a sex egg.
What is that? That's a no. What do they call that?
Typically,
That's that weird. You like suck up the little chick.
Oh.
They didn't
even
They eat it in Bangkok while they're
this
shooting
isn't
out
from
their
scientific.
things.
This isn't from
What is
scientific.
that called?
Scientific theory.
called
This is from my
nasty
own
is what it
personal
is.
observations.
Chris and I split one.
Yeah, what is that nasty shit? What was that thing?
I'm trying to think.
Beluga egg?
No,
Blue-
you're thinking
oh,
of
yeah,
a
yeah,
whale.
Beluga whale?
But I mean, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
That's the word that's in my head is beluga, and
Yeah.
I know it's not that.
That's just you get a mystery bite with every bite of that thing.
What do you call it, dude? I don't even know.
It's a duck egg.
It's a fertilized egg.
It's a,
Yeah.
it's a duck egg. Yeah,
fertilized
Half
egg.
developed. I don't know.
it's an embryo.
Asia.
Yeah, it is.
What the freak is this
Oh
thing
my
called?
gosh, I'm
Balut. Is the
Balut.
balut?
That's the
there we
word.
go.
Yeah, see, we were close. Beluga,
Beluga,
balut,
balut.
sort of.
Sounds like a mushroom.
All right, I'll do kind of one more food one. I lied.
Okay.
But this has something. This
Losing my appetite real quick on
Oh,
these
good.
ones. So
That balut
working.
egg though.
This just kind of shows how savage Burger King is.
Oh,
So back in
no.
2009, I don't remember them doing this. So I wonder if you guys do or not. But back in 2009, Burger King ran the Whopper Sacrifice campaign, which gave a free Whopper to anyone who deleted 10 friends on Facebook.
Oh, that'd be so easy.
Facebook, however, suspended the program because Burger King was alerting people, letting them know they'd been dropped for a sandwich.
That's
That's
hilarious.
great,
Right?
bro. I could eat for weeks if I did that right now.
That's hilarious.
Just do 10 at a time.
Right?
dude.
Get your sandwich, Riyadh.
I know.
I'll sacrifice. Yeah,
Man,
I'll
I
do
have
it.
friends on Facebook, like old coworkers and stuff that I haven't seen or talked to in years. It's like, oh, easy.
My
Like,
only hope would be that they don't do it before I do.
I just think it's hilarious. They'd get an alert. Tony unfriended you for a sandwich.
I bet most of them I deleted would be like, oh, I was still friends with him. Like they wouldn't even care either.
Who's that?
Here's a good one. So, you know those junk mail checks you get in the mail that are like, they look like a real
yeah.
check, but they're
those
not?
piss me off.
Yeah. So, a guy named Patrick Combs of San Francisco in 1995 received a junk mail check for just over $95,000. Went and deposited it into his bank account. Through a series of banking errors, Patrick's check cleared. The money was deposited in his account and his bank was left holding the bag.
Nice.
Yep.
95,000.
Just over $95,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's like 200,000 nowadays.
Yeah.
There's
Back
no way that
95.
would stand today. They
No.
just remove it back.
They would just,
Heck
yeah.
They would. Yeah. They would.
Sucks
You
to
would
suck.
spend it,
Wait,
and
when
then they
was
would
that?
still take it back. They'd be
1995.
like, yeah, bud,
Oh,
you owe
yeah.
us.
Nah, technology's too
Yeah,
good.
technology's too advanced now. But yeah, somehow he just
The good old days.
I read the article on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I got it, and I just took it to my bank," and they were like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "It cleared, went into my bank account." So now what he does is he'll go. So, news article. They went and
awareness.
interviewed him, whatever, and what he'll do is he'll pin $500 $1 bills onto like a sweatshirt or whatever, and he'll walk around San Francisco and he'll just start asking people if they need money. And he goes, "This is my way of not feeling guilty that I screwed a bank out of $95,000." And I was like,
Why feel
I don't
guilty?
feel guilty about that at all.
Bro, they're up there with pharmaceutical companies.
Right?
Those crooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the same line, I want to see your thoughts on this one.
Okay.
A man named Dmitry Argarkov once scanned a credit card agreement, edited it, and returned it with a 0% interest rate and no limit in the new terms. The bank signed it without reading it, and a judge held them to it.
Yeah, baby.
Heck
I
yeah.
like
Right?
that.
So he has a credit card with no limit and 0% interest.
And
That is
So
wonderful.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is he would just have to pay a monthly price on it, but that's about it.
no, it's got
minimum
zero
payment?
interest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
But
you
minimum
still have
payment
to
is
pay.
it
You still
off.
have to make a minimum
So
payment.
yeah, as long as he makes his payment on time, he
Yeah.
wouldn't have any kind of fees or anything.
But
so.
is the minimum payment usually the interest?
no.
No,
It's usually like
So with
mostly interest and barely enough
Yeah.
to like kind of help.
it's usually a percentage of whatever your balance is,
Yeah.
and then
That's
of
what
that
we usually-
percentage, a certain percentage is split between interest and principal.
yeah,
So in this case, it would still his minimum monthly payment could probably still be a percentage of his balance,
Boss status.
but
but usually that percentage is only like 1 or 2%, isn't it?
yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
I'd
Yeah,
go buy a
but-
car that and have 0%
heck
interest
yeah.
on the car.
Yep.
I was gonna say,
Dude,
'cause it's
you
like-
would buy everything with that and just pay it back.
Because it's like even if the minimum payment is, or if the minimum payment is still a percentage of your balance, and you go buy a house,
Right.
I mean, you're still a 0% interest house,
Right.
and it's no limit on
and
the
it's
card.
no limit.
Yeah, so you
Can
could
you
charge.
imagine convincing someone though, like you're like house agent or whatever, you're like just run the card. Just do it, see what happens. If it works, we're good.
It's like who's your lender? Who are
Just
you
do
getting
it.
your mortgage through? Oh, I'm not getting a mortgage. I'm going to put it on my credit
I'm gonna
card.
put it on my card.
Like,
Just run it.
Just run it.
Run
Just
it.
do it.
Here's one just to show you of today now, after that $95,000 check one.
Yeah.
Today I learned Crypto.com mistakenly sent a customer $10.5 million instead of a $100 refund simply by typing the account number as the refund amount. It took Crypto.com 7 months to notice the mistake, and they are now suing the customer.
Dude,
Told you that does not fly today.
I'm sorry, but you make the
I would
mistake,
use their
like,
money to hire the lawyer.
right?
Right?
To me, like, I don't know. If I were a judge, I'd look at them and be like, dude, you're the ones that made the dumbass mistake. Like,
Yeah.
Let's settle this out.
sorry,
I'll give you $10.
right? Like,
Took him 7 months, bud.
Oh, look, here, top comment. Not to this level, but this happened to my mom when I was born. $50,000 deposited into her account, definitely not hers because we were poor. Bank told her it was an error, but until someone requests it, it stays in her account. The teller then told my mom move all the money into a savings account, as any interest accrued by that money even is yours, even if the $50K needed to be paid back. 10 years later, no one claimed the money, so my mom bought our family our first home.
That's cool.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
I like it.
That's smart.
kind of on the water thing. This one was kind of cool. Today I learned that Lake Superior holds 10% of the world's surface fresh water.
10%? Jeez.
Like Superior. I
Of
read that
the
one.
of fresh
I
water.
read that
That's
one.
crazy.
Sounds like it is superior.
So, sorry, just to go
No,
on
you're
the
good.
crypto thing still. And another comment says, weird because if I mess up sending crypto, crypto.com would tell me to suck it up and take my L. And that's 1,000%
It
true.
is.
And I wonder if they sent the money through crypto because that's decentralized. So really, like what could a bank, like what could a judge do?
it's not regulated. So
It's like the Wild West.
I'd say
It
take
really
them
is.
down.
Money, it's
Take them down.
like, that's interesting.
Jeez.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, unless there was something that the person signed somewhere that legally they could take their money back. Like, I feel like, no, you made the dumbass mistake.
Yeah.
It's your fault. I'm keeping the money.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's a big oopsie poopsie, though.
Today I learned
No.
Captain Kirk never said the phrase "beam me up, Scotty."
That's
What?
not real.
Is this like
I
the
think I've heard that
freaking
before.
Darth Vader thing?
Yeah.
It's one of those
I am your
Mandela.
father.
Get out.
What did he
What
actually
the freak is
say?
that? That's not Kirk.
That's old Kirk.
Oh, that's Scotty. That's Scotty.
Old Scotty.
Bring me up, Scotty.
I was gonna say old Kirk was what's
He
his
did
name?
say
William
Scotty
Shatner.
beam me up.
Shatner.
Oh, so they just reversed it.
Snotty beamed me last night.
It was wonderful.
Oh man.
Scotty beamed me twice last night.
What's the Darth Vader one? I know it's like Luke.
It
Very-
says,
he doesn't
no,
say-
I am
yeah, he
your
doesn't
father.
say
I
Luke.
am your father.
He doesn't say Luke, I am your father. He says,
know where-
No, I am your father.
You know where
No,
people
I-
get that from? Tommy Boy.
Yep.
Tommy Boy. That's the one where he's
He does it
speaking
in the
into the fan. Luke.
Which we all did as kids.
I am your father.
Yeah.
That little robot hand that he has, I had one of those.
That's awesome. In 1947, the Canadian town of Snag, Yukon, saw a temperature of negative 83 degrees
Holy
Fahrenheit. It was so cold you could hear people speaking 4 miles away, along with other phenomena as such as people's breath turning into powder and falling straight to the ground, and river ice booming like gunshots.
Wow.
Wait, why would a river? Oh, just
The cracking, yeah, like it cracks
So,
and
so to go on to that, like the voice, this is totally something else I learned just the other day. AM radio stations emit so much electricity that if you were to stick like something that conduced like electricity up to it and had like an arc, you could actually hear the voices of the AM radio stations in that arc.
What?
So like you saw this electrician holding up like a jumper cable type thing near an AM tower, and the electricity was arcing, and you could hear the radio stations talking.
Gosh, that's
wow.
It is the eeriest thing.
That is
That's creepy.
It sounds haunting because it doesn't look normal.
Well, they also say radio signals travel so far that they are like, what is it, 37 billion light years away or something like that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though hearing voices 4 miles away?
right?
Right? Isn't that wild?
Mess with your head.
This one's blowing my mind. Today I learned blowing game cartridges never really fixed anything.
Yes,
That's
it
a
did.
lie.
False.
That's a lie.
Yes, it did.
False, because we fixed it
Yes.
here on the podcast by blowing on an HDMI cord.
Dude,
True.
that's one of those things too. Is like, I don't care. Everyone said that eventually. They're like, no, it doesn't work, but it worked every single time.
It did.
Literally every
Sorry,
time.
facts don't lie. like,
Right?
Telling you.
And people would literally say like, hey, that doesn't work. You'd be like, stick it in, and it's like turns on right away, and you're like, okay, prove it.
Well, dust would
That's what
get
I do
in
to my
there.
wife too.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
dust gets in the way.
I missed it.
Let's see.
Why?
I got a couple more before we wrap it up and call it.
okay.
So this is another reason why I will never adventure to Australia. First one being spiders.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yes. Second one, there is a plant called the gimpy,
Gimpy.
otherwise known as the suicide plant.
Nice. I want one.
When touched, it delivers multiple stings with a long-lasting neurotoxin that is so painful that people would rather kill themselves than live through a few days of excruciating pain.
Oh my gosh.
Let's try that.
And then a further several years of lesser pain or full reoccurrence in the correct conditions.
Are you sure? That sounds like something from Jumanji.
That's
if
what I was thinking.
The tiny hairs that deliver the stings are not removed or are buried, the pain will continue for years. The pain, which has been described as a feeling like being doused in hot acid and being electrocuted simultaneously, is so bad that people have been driven mad by it.
oh my
Pull this up.
Horses who have been stung by this plant have literally thrown themselves off the cliffs.
Oh my gosh.
An ex-serviceman named Cyril Bromley is known to have fallen into one of the plants during World War II. Driven mad by it, he had to be strapped to a bed to prevent himself from committing suicide. Another rather unfortunate officer is known to have shot himself in the head after using one of the plant's leaves as toilet paper.
Oh, no.
Rather than live with the pain in his rear end, he chose to end his life.
What?
A literal pain in the ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way. That
Pain
can't
was
be
just
real.
beyond. This is a lady like explaining what it was like to fall into it.
The gimpy gippy.
Freaking eradicate it, like if you can. Oh
She
my
said the
gotta
pain
be
was
a
just
chance,
beyond
mate.
unbearable. The body gets in a pain threshold, and then she started vomiting.
Yeah, it says in a North Queensland road surveyor A.C. McMillan in 1866 reported that his pack horse had been stung by the tree before it got mad and died within 2 hours.
Prove it.
By wax strips. Oh, okay. To attempt to get the hairs out. Heated the wax strips on his car. In the hospital, she was. They couldn't do much. Wow, what the heck?
Oh, there you
Three
go. I have
cesareans
4
and natural childbirth. None of them even come close.
to the pain that she dealt with this thing.
Get out. How is this not a more known thing?
I don't know, but it's another reason I
And
ain't going
around
to
here we complain
Australia.
about poison ivy.
Yeah.
It itches.
Jeez. Here's one real fast.
Yeah.
Today I learned that in 2005, a PhD student at the University of British Columbia nominated a fire hydrant to run for the Board of Governors and even acted as its translator. The hydrant pulled in 900 votes, missing a seat by 6 ballots.
Oh, good hell.
That reminds me of that time when
A fire hydrant?
what country was it? Was it like Poland or something? And they're like they opened it up to the internet and said, "Hey, vote for the name of this boat and we'll name it that." And the top ranking vote was Bodie McBoatface.
I always think of that petition that was started to rename Red Ants to Spicy Boys. BOIS.
I'd love that.
Bodie McBoatface.
Did you ever hear about that?
Bodie McBoat.
Look it up. It's a real boat.
I think I do
That's
remember
really
that.
awesome.
Bodie McBoatface.
Where is Bodie McBoatface now?
Oh my gosh.
Bodie McBoatface?
Yeah,
There
what
it
you
is.
get when you let the internet decide. Is that what it looks like?
Yep. Bodie McBoatface.
Oh my gosh. Fleet of robotic boat underwater vehicles.
That's awesome.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love it so
That
much.
is awesome.
Some of the people listening just learned that there's a boat out there named Bodie McBoatface.
If they had taken that down to the Titanic,
Yeah, there you go.
There-
That's what we
that's
need
what
to
they
do.
should-
it would have been
Done.
fun.
Oh my gosh, we should do that.
So you guys know about the Challenger, right? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Dodge
Yeah.
Challenger?
No, the
Explosion.
The explosion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The rocket.
Space shuttle.
The fake explosion.
So they now believe that the astronauts didn't die when the shuttle exploded.
Get
Correct.
out.
The stack actually just broke apart under the aerodynamic stress, and the explosion you thought you saw was just the expanding cloud of hydrogen from the external tank burning. The forces involved in the breakup were very survivable. The crew cabin was left intact after it separated from the rest of the orbiter and may not have depressurized. There's evidence to suggest some or all of them were conscious at least part of the way down, if not the entire time. And photography of the disaster shows the cabin falling without spinning in a nose-down attitude, meaning no excessive forces to knock them out. The impact with the ocean was what actually killed them. It took 2 minutes and 45 seconds from breakup to impact. It's possible that some or all of them were conscious and aware the whole time.
Oh gosh.
Have you seen that? Have you seen those videos though of people who have like found living people who look exactly like the older versions of all
Oh,
of them?
yeah.
Okay, Alex Jones.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying, bro.
I've
Like,
seen that.
it's pretty compelling evidence.
I've seen that.
They didn't die at all. They were never on the shuttle to begin
Would you
with.
be yelling?
2.5 minutes.
You'd have to stop,
don't
pause,
know.
and do it again.
Two and a half
couldn't
minutes
breathe.
makes you wonder, could you
Could you even breathe?
Would you even have time to even think of how to try to save yourself? Like,
2.5. That's a long time falling.
I know.
A long
It's a
time.
long free fall.
Yeah, you definitely have time to think about things.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So,
My brain.
It's like, all right, remember, keep your arms and legs in when you hit the water.
Stick your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye.
You're gonna be okay.
So-
No, you're not. You're not. We're not gonna.
here's what I want you guys to try for men try. Men try bargaining.
Okay.
So it says, today I learned about a 17-year-old kid that was given an old iPhone for free and using the barter section of Craigslist made 14 trades, ending with a Porsche. Along the way, he traded for newer phones, computers, motorcycles, and eventually cars.
I remember that story,
Extortionist.
actually. I remember that kid.
That
Yep.
kid is going places.
Right?
He hasn't already.
Wasn't it called the penny challenge?
Like you start with
Like
a
you
penny.
start with a penny and then you just trade up.
Well, that's
Or maybe it was a paperclip.
that's kind of
I think that's right.
that's kind of like Dave Ramsey's thinking. Is you start with like for instance with a car. This is one of the things I've heard for him is you get a car that you can afford and pay cash for, might be $500. But then what you do is you turn around and sell that. I don't know. Anyways, there's a way where you can work it out where you only pay cash for cars, and you would end up maybe trading that car, doing something to the point where, like he said at one point, you would buy like a $30,000 car, but you would pay cash for it. And then you turn around and sell it. And let's say you have $25,000, like you sell for 25 grand. Well, you have 25 grand in cash.
Yeah.
And now you can turn around and you can actually go to a car place and say, listen, this car's 35,000, but I got 25 in cash. A lot of car places will go, okay.
Yeah.
They'll take it. So now you have 35,000.
Cash doesn't.
And you
hold
can
its
just-
value. It's,
Yeah.
They
Unfortunately.
get
what was
so
the-
much money off of.
What was the guy's name?
deal.
Yeah, I don't have a name for him. It just said a 17-year-old kid.
Because he actually made it up to a house.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he
he
made it up to
started
a
with a
house.
red paper clip, and through the series of 14 online trades over the course of a year, ended up with a house.
Oh. Yeah, maybe this one was... Yeah, this one said he ended with a Porsche, but...
He got a fish-shaped pen, then a hand-sculpted doorknob, an Amherst, or he traveled to Amherst, and got a Coleman camp stove, and then a Honda generator, an instant party, an empty keg, and an IOU for filling the keg with beer of the bearer's choice, and a neon Budweiser sign. Then he got a Ski-Doo snowmobile, and then a 2-person trip to Yuck, British Columbia, and then he got a box truck. He got a recording contract. What the freak? And then he got a contract for a year's rent, and then
How do you trade a recording contract?
he traded a year's rent in Phoenix for one afternoon with Alice Cooper. And then one afternoon with Alice Cooper for a Kiss motorized snow globe. What the freak? Traded the snow globe for a role in the film Donna on Demand. What does that look like in you? Direct-to-video dark comedy. Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then he traded the movie role for a 2-story farmhouse in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
What a
That's
random
crazy.
bunch of crap.
Wow.
Well, it's people thinking that that's their shot to make it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
That's it
Or
looks
there,
like
that's
there's
their
a theme
15
there.
minutes of fame because that was popular and
Reoccurring theme
weird.
that he
Kinda-
capitalized on.
Back on the car thing, though, and I don't know, you can maybe say something to this. I think, honestly, what it does, it's more appealing for, like, if you're going to finance through the company, like, say you go to Chevy and you want to finance for 5 years with Chevy, it's more appealing to get the money up front than it is to finance. And I think that's what I don't think he's giving them like 25 in cash. I think he's like, here's a check. I'll give you 30 grand up front if you'll take 5 grand off the car. And a lot of most places will be like, great, let's do it.
A
Or
bird
down
in
payment.
hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
I
heard,
mean, because
I've heard actually, if you're going to buy a car with cash, you go in saying that you're going to take out a loan, and then you actually take out the loan and then immediately pay off the loan.
oh, really?
Yeah, because car dealers now will look at cash. It doesn't gain them any additional money. They like the interest.
The kickbacks. All the
They feel more comfortable that they're going to get their money
They
even
usually
if you
have
default or
incentives
something.
with the lender that pay out more than the cash itself.
See, I always thought it was the other way around. I always heard that they would just rather have the money up front and say, see you later.
Yeah, you'd
But-
think. I don't think that's the case anymore, unfortunately.
Anyways.
This one's wild. Today I learned Bayer knowingly sold AIDS contaminated hemophilia blood products
read this.
worldwide because the financial investment in the product was considered too high to destroy the inventory.
These are people who need to go straight to
Oh
hell.
my gosh.
Can you
Burn for
imagine?
eternity.
Did you also know that was believed?
I mean, there is a cure for it now, so.
Just kidding.
Well, that's like,
Just kidding.
sorry, real quick, but that's like on that. Who was the company that did the milk thing in the? Like they told the women, or it was the
you're
breast
talking
milk
Nestle.
thing. Nestle.
Yeah,
Nestle,
I
they
remember that.
gave formula.
That's what it was.
To mothers in Africa who were
And
struggling
then their breast
to
milk dried up.
Yeah, who were struggling to feed their infants.
Oh,
And then in doing so and giving them formula, their breast milk dried up, and then their kids, and then they stopped giving them free formula.
Yep.
So they're literally their kids were dying starving.
yep.
There's a whole subreddit.
Yeah, I remember
on
we talked about
FU
that.
Nestle.
we talked about that.
Well, and then there's I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like in some of those declassified documents came out that the government actually ran tests for decades in New York of infecting people like with sickness and flus and whatever and seeing how it spreads through like the subways and everything.
Really?
Heard about that. Same thing like with the whole AIDS thing. You guys remember the rapper Eazy-E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They believe possibly that because he swore up and down that he didn't know how he got it transmitted. They believe that what was the big guy? There was a guy over one of the I can't remember his name. He's a bad dude. He was like he partnered with Dr. Dre for a while.
Like Snoop Dogg?
Not Snoop
Not
Dogg.
notorious, is it?
Not Notorious. He was like the guy over the big manager over this record company.
DEFCON records or whatever.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Was it?
It's not DEFCON. It was.
That was his, right? When he started producing.
Yeah. Gosh dang it.
What
See if you got it up there.
what did he say?
Anyways, so they believe that he actually, because they would do drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They believe that because Eazy-E was going in and there was contractual issues that Eazy-E wasn't like letting him get away with. Like this guy was they were trying to beat him up. They were trying to get him to release. I think they were trying to get him to release Dre's contract or something like that. And Eazy wasn't doing it, and so in turn, they gave him drugs or something like that filled with AIDS,
Yikes.
and he injected himself with AIDS by himself.
Is it big? What big something knockout? I just saw. BG knockout?
No,
No.
Back on the Bayer thing, someone else on the top comment says, "Tomorrow I will learn that when they were caught, it cost them less to pay a fine than they made in profits."
Ugh.
Yep.
Like
That's
they
how
should take
pharmaceutical
that.
Yeah,
companies
that's how it
do it.
works, man.
No,
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight. Yeah, they believe that Suge Knight. I mean, there's no way to tell. It's all he said, she said, and you can't really prove it. But they believe that possibly that Suge Knight injected him with AIDS or somehow
Here's
got
another one.
tainted blood.
This one will make you mad, all you penny pinchers out there like myself. Today I learned Americans have accumulated $21 billion worth of unused gift cards.
Holy
Almost
balls.
2/3 of people have a card, and half of those will likely lose the gift card before using it.
Yep.
So here's your reminder: use your gift card.
Some gift cards
Expire.
yeah, I guess
Which
expire or
is
they
so
Or they,
dumb.
if you don't
Or
use
they
them in time,
lose
they slowly
the
take
value.
$1 off.
They
every-
devalue
everywhere.
them, yeah.
That's why there was one time I went through, Kara was changing her purse and she had pulled out like 5 gift cards, and I was like, how much is left on this? She goes, I don't know, like $2 here, $3 here. She goes, not a big deal. And I'm like, we can take these down to Smith's, and Smith's, if you swipe any gift card, they'll pull the remainder off the card.
What?
Any
Yeah.
gift card?
Any gift
Today
card.
I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What?
when I went to New York, I had saved up a bunch of gift cards I got from work. And when I got home, I had about 8 gift cards, like one of them with $10, another one with $8. Accumulated up to about $60 on these left on these gift cards. We went to Smith shopping, had about $100 in grocery bill, and I just swiped.
So,
Swiped
like,
all
say,
these,
like-
and it took off every last bit of it, and it takes it down to a 0 mark, and then took $60 off my shopping bill.
So, like, say McDonald's, you have like $1.50 left on a McDonald's gift card. You can take it to
Oh,
Smith's.
sorry, not that. Like Visa gift cards. My bad.
Oh,
My bad.
Oh.
Not like food gift cards.
so not gift cards that belong
You
to
have me all
other
excited.
companies.
Yes.
know, right?
I'm sorry,
Yeah, I
not
was sitting here
that.
thinking,
That's
like,
how Visas work,
No,
Zach.
I'm sorry. Visa. No, not a lot of them.
The
Can you
Visa
please support
ones,
us?
you
Yeah,
can
the
use
Visa gift
anywhere.
cards, you
Lawsuit.
can use them anywhere, but a lot of places won't take the remainder. If you don't,
Oh, you mean like it won't? I see. What
if
you're
you don't
saying.
know the exact amount and have them charge that
Yeah, I
exact
see
amount,
what you're
it'll
saying.
decline. If you just go to Kroger, it'll just automatically pull off the
okay.
remaining amount.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
At first, I'm
Yeah.
like, I walk in with like 50 cents
Subway
on Cold
gift
Stone
card.
and Subway.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
all right.
That's what I was thinking.
Here's a time to take a break and say we really could use your support for the future.
For $1 a day, you can help
Legal
one of
fees we're
Tony's
about,
children.
right? The future legal fees we're about to acquire here on Fives and Crowd. I mean,
Sorry, I meant like any
Okay.
Visa, MasterCard.
Yeah, now we're all
Gotcha.
depressed.
Like
Those
just a
type of-
Yeah,
prepaid
now I'm
gift
bummed.
card.
I was
Prepaid
like,
gift
oh,
card.
man.
You took us up here and then you brought us down here.
They used to, when I first started working for Smith's, though, they did tell us, like, if someone came up with like a $20 gift card from Wendy's and was just like, hey, can I pay with this? We were supposed to tell them yes.
How?
You just take the $20 gift card and do a $20 credit on the account.
Weird. And then they use it, and then the managers use it
And
themselves.
I don't know what. Yeah, we were told that was an acceptable
Do you remember
way.
the day of gift certificates?
Yes.
Dude, those sucked. They freaking come out on an inkjet printer.
Mm-hmm.
You get rain on it. It's like smudge. It's like, wow, this is useless.
All right. Last one from me. And this one, I thought this was really cool. This is kind of mind blowing. So it says, today I learned that the SS Warramoo was able to be in 2 different days, months, years, seasons, and centuries all at the same time.
What?
On its route from Vancouver to Australia, the passenger steamer SS Warramoo was peacefully navigating the waters of the mid-Pacific. Basically, the coordinates landed them. It was on December 31st, 1899. And they were at the time not far away from the international dateline and equator that converge. So the captain was cunning enough to seize the chance to pull off a navigational fluke of a lifetime. To check and recheck the ship's position, he summoned all of his navigators on the ship. He made a modest course correction to approach his target directly. The engine speed was then changed. The clear night and quiet weather was to his advantage. And therefore, the SS Warramoo was lying on the equator precisely where it had crossed the international dateline at midnight. The results of this odd position were numerous. The ship's bow was in the southern hemisphere during the height of summer. Winter was in full swing in the stern, which was in the northern hemisphere. The date on the ship's aft section was December 31st, 1899. The date was January 1st, 1900 at the bow. As a result, the ship was not just in 2 separate times, 2 different days, months, years, and seasons, but simultaneously in 2 separate centuries.
Wow, that's cool.
Right?
That's rad.
That's
Like-
awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like,
He's
That's
probably
really
got a
cool.
T-shirt that says all that.
I don't blame him.
Piloted
Like,
his ship, and all I got was
yeah, I don't blame him. You learned that stuff, and he's like, "Heck yeah, we're gonna do this!" Like,
right, dude.
yeah, fantastic.
I gotta. This will be my last one because this one's pretty funny. Today I learned that Adolph Sax, the son of instrument designers, was super prone to accidents. As a kid, he fell from a 3-story height, drank acidic water that he mistook for milk, swallowed a pin, fell into a frying pan, was burned in a gunpowder blast, and fell into the river. He grew up to invent the saxophone.
It made all the sounds he made when he did all the
No kidding.
Yeah, all the sound effects of his life.
That wild?
Jeez.
So, well, any last ones?
Any
Cam,
last
you
ones
seen
from the
anything on there?
peanut gallery? That's so good, man.
That's
'Kay.
crazy.
Well, we are gonna call it.
This was fun. We should do this
So,
again.
Yeah.
I love
I hope
this.
that you guys all out there learned something today. I know when I was making this podcast, I learned a lot of things. So,
This is a fun one to browse.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. So,
Yeah.
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 What's a hashtag?
Hashtag TIL.
Today
And-
I learned.
Share your stuff that you might have learned.
Heck yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in the comments below. So, we appreciate you guys. We love you. And thanks for being part of this crowd.
Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Love you guys.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.